What's up, everybody, and welcome to a Box Out Boys emergency podcast. We got the big man. What I call you normally, the big man. I threw myself off.
The stats
man.
Chris man.
Hit him with the stats, Chris.
Guys, today is the 20th anniversary of
wild.
the Game 7. I think you all know this by now. 2004 was the last time Timberwolves did Game 7. Also, I don't know if you know this. It's Kevin Garnett's birthday.
Yep.
Yeah.
The stars aligned.
Guys, no matter what Scott Foster was trying to do in this game,
it was
and they delivered, and serendipity needed to happen. Serendipity is real. I don't know if people really believe in that, but that's fucking real after watching this game.
This is amazing. Chris is here, and the lawn boss, Joe McCroskey. Get that joke.
Yeah, I just want to hear Chris. We just go right to the big
Chris,
man.
Give us your reaction, big man. How are you feeling? Wolves stun the Nuggets. Also, I'm drinking Coors Light. Operation Cold, the Rockies.
Hey. I've been drinking Coors Light all night.
Yeah.
Wow.
I should be saying that, but
the Nuggets went cold, but the Wolves got hot. How was it feeling? Take us through the game? Because obviously, the Wolves come out a little slow.
They're done by 15 at half. Similar to Game 5 vibes. Like, can they actually come back from this? Yeah. And then in the third quarter, Jamal Murray just didn't show up. Nobody else was showing up for the Nuggets. Jokic works best when he's got other guys to and hit shots. Nobody else was hitting shots. Christian Brown looked all right, but he's not hitting threes. He's a big.
Just had him for a long stretch too.
Brown, yeah. That's a good point. He should have probably played more, maybe like 25, 30 minutes over Porter. Porter, like when he hit a shot, I was like, oh hey, Porter's in this game. Oh cool. Murray and Jokic combined for 69, of the 90 points for the Nuggets.
Yikes.
The Wolves had 6 guys in double figures tonight, with Conley finishing off with the 10. And the other 2 points were from Kyle Anderson. Now Nickeil Alexander-Walker pissed me off in this game. Great defense though. He was 0 for 6, 0 for 5 from 3. But I'm really happy, guys, because I've been wanting to say this for the entire series. This series, to me, I feel like I've been getting gaslit this whole series, where I'm watching these games and I'm like, the Timberwolves are the better team, and then there's people behind me being like, no, they're not. They're losing. No, Chris, they're losing. Hey, Chris, they're not actually the better team. And I'm like, no, they are. I swear, I'm watching this. They're the better team. And finally, after a half, I'm like, I still think they're the better team. And finally, in the second half, they proved it. Anthony Edwards, 6 of 24. Not a great game, but Karl Anthony Towns. Is this the most redemption game of Karl Anthony Towns' career? This is the game. If anybody wants to talk shit about Karl Anthony Towns again, you bring up this game. You'd be like, no, Karl Anthony Towns came to play in Game 7 of the Western Conference semifinals, and hopefully there's more to come. But really, right now, this was such a validating moment because ESPN had him before the game being like, sitting on the bench is like, hey, Karl Anthony Towns looks locked. And imagine if Karl Anthony Towns came out and went what Edwards did, 6 of 24 and lost. People would be blasting Towns, be like, hey, he should be traded this offseason. No, but instead he came out and he won. I could not be more excited for this team. I'm so happy to be living in Minnesota, but working at a place like Target that gave me this opportunity. Shout out, Target.
Look at that raise.
I'm just excited, guys. How do you guys feel? Like, as being not as
Joey, go ahead. Give your thoughts on this, man. You were a little more into the Timberwolves, I think.
Yeah, I was because of Chris, because I support my friends.
I was rooting for Denver. I'll be completely honest.
Yeah,
good friend Titus. You've said it before. I get it.
Cool. It's cool. Titus.
I like Denver.
It's all the wrong things. No, it was exciting. It was fun for somebody who tuned out, and I don't know, it was Game 2, one of those games you guys stayed up for, and I tuned out.
A lot of the games, I think.
No,
there was multiple games. Game 5 for sure was the one that he tuned out.
Game 5, you didn't stay up, or no?
I missed one.
It was one of the blowouts.
It was the 9:30 start time, which is the one I understood. If anyone did, anyways.
No, the thing that I noticed tonight was, and I know they've been doing this all series, but for some reason tonight stuck out, was when they would throw the double teams at Jokic. the timing of the third guy who would go to cover the person that the double teamer had left open was just, it was like pristine. It was in the third quarter when they started to ratchet it up, like just watching, like somebody would drop down and flail around a little bit, and then right at the right moment, they would go to the double team. Third guy would go and just hit. And like Denver tried it for a minute against Ant, and it just, you could just see like the way that it was orchestrated by Minnesota was just something that I hadn't noticed before in like super fine detail. It was just, it looked so on point. In the first half, like they were trying it, but the Nuggets were hitting shots, right? Murray was kind of, breaking down some of those double teams and hitting a lot of floaters. And then they just kind of went super cold on that stretch late in the third quarter, early into the fourth.
Yeah.
Everything dried up for him. Ant didn't have a good game, but it seemed like he hit the shots in the right moments when they needed them. A couple of 3-pointers, the big one in the corner with the wide open shot was pretty big. And then obviously, Karl-Anthony Towns, that put back dunk was kind of the exclamation point on it all, especially with Reggie saying like, you can't give up a second rebound here, right? This will be killer if you let him get the rebound here. And then he ends up putting the putback, and not to mention Rudy Gobert hitting some weird like Dirk Nowitzki fadeaway floater kind of thing, whatever that majestic creature.
I love that we all agree that Gobert should have probably been taken out, right? Right? Let's do a 4-man stretch with Nas and Towns, and then Gobert gets an and one. Then it's like crazy floater, and it's like, okay, maybe he's not so bad.
I mean, he held it together after kind of looked like he was just kind of parked in the paint for a lot of times. I mean, he made an impact down the stretch. I mean,
no, Minnesota they closed it out, man. I mean, they played better than Denver tonight, and it was clear when I think Reggie was talking about it on the broadcast, and I kind of saw it when Ant started to get going, when that lead, the 20-point lead got cut to 12, and then it got cut to 9, and then it's 7. And then you could just see Minnesota getting that confidence, and that was it. And once they got it, Denver lost all their mojo, and they were like, then they started playing scared. Then Denver started playing scared.
I think in those moments you need to find a third guy.
Yeah,
right?
you need to find, and they didn't have a third guy. No. And they didn't have the big moment for me was the Jokic hesitation 3. It was funny that he ended up going on to hit like 2 more after that. But when he hesitated to shoot that 3 wide open, it was just like, oh, dude, they're in their heads right now. And then Jamal just kind of getting locked up by Ant and turning the ball over a couple of times. That was it too. We're just like, okay, he's not just going to go ahead and just take over this game. It's not going to be a Jamal game. It's not going to be Jokic either. And they didn't have that third guy or just that secondary scoring from KCP or Gordon or anybody. So
Ant getting that steal on Jamal Murray towards the end of that game when he pressed him, when he went over the screen, that was like the moment, I think.
Yeah,
I think they were still down after he made that. I can't remember exactly. Yeah, it's all a blur right now in my head.
Like that was another one where I noticed Ant, like he had a breakaway, and I think everybody thought he was going to do something kind of crazy. And he just did a real solid 2-hand dunk. Because he knew, he's like, this isn't the time to be fucking around. Like this is
how much work do you like Ant?
That's
that kind of dunk, dude, right?
Man. Like that kind of dunk where he's like, yep. And even when he got dunked it and turned around, he was all business. And that's when I knew. I was like, oh, they're in trouble. They're in trouble.
I just
scared.
This is my favorite team I've ever watched. This beats the 2011 Chicago Bulls, Taj Gibson, Boozer.
I don't disagree.
This is my favorite. This is like I can't believe what I'm seeing here, and I'm so excited. Like now, I went from Jokic, who was the low post man, to the next one. I got Doncic, who's the perimeter guy, right? So you got Jaden and Anthony Edwards. Can Anthony Edwards lock down Luka at all? Like he did Jamal Murray. Dude, Jamal Murray couldn't do shit in this game. Like he went. Well, actually, I don't want to say that. He had a great first half. Yeah. Right. And then he went 13 of 27, shot under 50%.
The thing with Jamal is like when it mattered, he got locked down. He was great in stretches, but the fourth quarter, like Jamal Jokic thing just wasn't there.
That's the difference, I think. Like when a big adjustment the Timberwolves made, I think, was with Edwards. They were setting fewer pick and rolls for him. Like he literally told Conley, like, go to the corner.
Yeah.
And then he's open. And they said a couple, but like he works better one-on-one just trying to set his man down. Murray needs the ball movement. He needs Jokic to kind of set him up to hit the shots. And Murray was good, but I just
there were two very specific drives where Anthony Edwards had broken down the defense, gotten to the rim, and could have easily tried to put one up there, right? A layup in traffic, and he ended up kicking him out to the corner for threes. One was Jaden McDaniel. I think maybe both of them were.
I think, Jaden McDaniel.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you said, Chris, like they stopped saying the pick and rolls and they said, hey, go to work and see if you can find the open guy or get something out of it. And he did. I mean, not a great game shooting wise, but I mean, the dude looked like every time he touched the ball, you kind of had the feeling like there was confidence in it, right? He was going to make the right decision, whether it was a good shot, forcing the issue at the rim or kicking out. And there was really not that feeling on the other side at all.
Not in the second half.
Nope.
No, second half.
Scott Foster, though, man. I don't know about this guy.
There was a couple of moments at the end. I'm like, if this goes Denver's way, we're going to have to seriously talk about the officiating.
Conley called a timeout.
It was
because that jump ball was bad.
That was not a jump ball.
Right?
Considering the jump ball earlier in the game, that was a bad call. I was like, considering that call.
And the missed hack on Anthony Edwards straight across the arms.
Yeah. But there was a couple. I'm trying to remember the calls at the end. It was that. And
Rudy's fifth foul was pretty weak on the one with Jokic pretty much falling over already. And then barely bumped him after the Nas Reed almost takeover or turnover.
They were trying, but.
They were trying.
All right. So
do we want to?
I think the Timberwolves are going to win this whole thing now. How do you guys feel about who's the favorite now? Timberwolves, Mavericks, Pacers, Celtics. Titus, I know you might think differently. Let's start with Joey.
No, okay, guys.
I think the Timberwolves definitely got to be the favorite over Dallas. I think Kyrie's going to be the X factor in that series as a whole.
He's the glue, as Kid called him, right?
He's the glue. He's also kind of the scrappy little small guy who's going to get in the paint, maybe give some of the big guys trouble, right? The size for the Timberwolves is going to be good against Gafford and Lively and PJ Washington. Like that's all going to match up, but I don't know. Like Conley's going to have to play Luka or Kyrie, sorry. And I just that could become very tiring, I think, for Conley. Unless they just find ways to switch Ant onto him, but then you're leaving Conley out on Luka, which depending on how Luka's feeling and kind of where his game is in each where his tempo is in each game, like that could work from game to game. Like it's gonna have to be kind of a play it as it goes. I don't know, like you kind of have to say Minnesota has got to be riding pretty high. And if they get 80% of the contribution that they got from Cat tonight on a consistent basis in that series, like that's a huge boost. And if Gobert is playing like that, like, I mean, Dallas has some size, but if the O boards are coming for, God, you got me saying O boards. If the O boards are coming for Minnesota, like they have been, I don't see any reason why Minnesota can't get past Dallas in a pretty handily fashion here.
5, 6.
I think it's possible in 5, but I don't know. Like they didn't seem like they were tired yet, right? Like the series should have been a pretty exhausting one for them, right? But then again, you think about like 3 of their wins were pretty easy wins. Games 1, 2, and 6 were pretty straightforward. Not a lot of effort needed for those, so maybe they're kind of rested. I don't know. They just seem like the more kind of lively, hungry, hip team at this point. But we'll see. I mean, you can't sleep on Luka and Kyrie because they've shown the ability.
Or lively, no
do
pun intended.
Yeah,
what he did in Game 6.
I think, like my honest opinion, I just don't trust Minnesota yet. I trust Ant. This is like the only reason why I think these guys can do it is because of that dude. Like that dude is that dude, and he's the guy. Like tonight, he had a rough game, right? Or a rough first half, and he just figured it out. He just kept grinding until he figured out what they were doing, and got his offensive rolling and took over the game by the end of it. But I think what I've seen in this Denver series is I think there's one weakness that I've sort of seen in Minnesota that I don't think that Denver could take advantage of was just making shots. And Denver missed, especially in the third quarter, Denver missed a lot of shots.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like Michael Porter was bricking. Jamal was bricking. Jokic missed, what was he, 0 for 7 for threes.
For a while, yeah. Porter finished 3 for 12. Yeah.
That's the one thing that scares me for them going forward. I think Dallas can make threes, and Dallas will make threes. They surrounded Luka with shooters.
You gotta watch out for PJ Washington's set shot. Not follow him on the way down, which apparently is a new motion.
Dude had 3 points though in Game 6.
Don't mean to interrupt, but
I didn't get a chance to see Game 6 because I was out of town, but. So I have to watch.
You win? How'd you do in the fishing tournament?
I got 9th, so I did all right. Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I felt like Ant out there. I just kept grinding until I figured
that money
at the end of the day. No, I was not in the money. It was only paid out 3 places.
Okay,
I was close. If I would have, I got broken off by a bass. That if I would have landed, I think would have been interesting. So we can talk about that offline. But get into my stats offline. But no, I think that the shooting is going to be an issue for the next couple of matches because I think it's obviously Dallas next round, and then we're all assuming here Boston in the finals.
Come
on. So
I kind of hope it's Boston.
I hope it's Boston because I think that's going to be a really good matchup. But at the same time, like I don't trust Boston enough to be like, yeah, for sure they can beat Minnesota. I don't think anybody left can for sure beat Minnesota. There's nobody that I'm going to be like for sure.
I think it's going to be the Pacers Celtics series is going to be interesting just to see how competitive it is, right? Yeah. If Porzingis actually comes back,
I think he's out. Yeah, one and two.
He's at least out the first. Okay. Yeah. Because if they're playing like how they have been playing, Timberwolves are going to be favored in the series.
Yeah.
Right? I need to see what his home court. I want to look it up now. Now that I know that fucking.
Boston will have home court over either of them.
Will.
Yeah.
Oh, it's record based.
Yeah, they had the best record in the league. So.
All right.
No,
so
I'll
be at Game 6. Go again.
Yeah.
The closeout.
Go close out. And then I'm a little nervous for Minnesota in Game 1 of the Dallas series.
Yeah.
Coming off the high. If anybody can kind of turn it around though, it'll be them, and Ant's gonna like.
They've been so.
I could see a rough start, and then
just even kill. That's the best thing about this team. They've been so like, just respectable to the other team this whole time. They're not cocky. What's that?
It said until the end there when he was waving to the crowd, but.
Yeah. Well, hey, that's when you can do it. When you're up,
Jaden McDaniels.
Actually, Jaden McDaniels' dunk thing was kind of I don't know. It was a little
iffy.
Yeah. But I'll let it pass.
No, they were hyped. They were hyped. They beat the defending champs.
I just also new. We should have talked this off. Like new player comp. I'm like Marcus Gasol. We got ties at Mike Conley. I think Joey's new player comp is like Jaden McDaniels.
I was gonna say the Jimmy McDaniels,
right? Like he's kind of you can kind of trust him for a corner three sometimes. He's gonna play hard on defense, get some blocks at the rim.
Like be where he's supposed to be.
Yeah, be where he's supposed to be.
Cool.
Handy guy. I like Jaden McDaniels, man.
I will take that.
I love Jaden McDaniels.
He's like my new favorite player. I love watching.
He's great. He's great.
He got 20 tonight.
Dude just stone faced.
A quiet 20 from Jaden McDaniels.
Like he was going up for that one jump ball, and he just literally looked like
23.
Just his face was just like there was nothing there. Yeah. He was just like, I just play basketball. It's cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
Went 7 of 10, 3 for 4 from 3. Just a fantastic last couple of games from Jaden McDaniels. Dude, this team had 9 steals as a team, like compared to 3 by the Nuggets. The story of the game is just
the steals are good too because the steals aren't even like. They're not even like, intercepted passes. They're
just picking people.
Yeah.
Picking pockets. Yeah.
Picking pockets out there. No, Denver was starting their offense so high. Like they were basically coming across mid court and like Jokic was setting the pick for Murray.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you guys? Yeah, the logo picks. Yeah. Like, what are you guys doing? And then he's trying to post them and repost it when Cat's on him. And he couldn't do anything against Cat, man.
No. He got a good fader on him. And it's like, you just take those. But that was the only one.
There's only one.
Everything else, Jokic was just he's trying to draw fouls a couple times.
Yeah,
bullshit. That was a jump ball. I still believe. I get maybe Towns had a finger on it on Jokic's finger. That's still a jump ball in my opinion. Like in any league I play in, Park District leagues in Lifetime, YMCA or whatever.
I think it would have been a quick jump ball, but it was a jump ball there for a second till he kind of muscled it out and then Cat fouled.
He's so zesty. It's just the zestiness of Cat, man. It's tough.
Cat's the only guy I don't trust. That's the reason why I can't like fully embrace Minnesota.
It's fine.
It's because of him and Gobert.
Tonight. Yeah, he's just got to keep doing what he did tonight.
Everybody else I love.
Yeah.
Nas Reed, I love.
Everybody I talked to, like I was talking to my buddy Nate. He says, I love Minnesota, but I hate Gobert. I feel like everybody likes Minnesota, but they hate somebody on this team, whether it's Towns or Gobert.
Cat's my number one. I hate Gobert. I've actually kind of come around on where I'm like, he just looks like somebody I know, and I don't like that person. So then it's a double. It's just like, oh God.
One guy I don't like that I kind of like is weird Christian Brown.
Yeah, I can see.
I hate him. He's got a punchable face, but he's one of those guys you see at the YMCA, and you're like, fuck, this guy's gonna try hard
this guy's gonna try.
Be all over the court, fouling the crap out of me. For 96 feet, it's gonna be really annoying. But
it's funny. I was gonna say that was Joey.
That was no. I don't think
that was my Joey.
Hey! I already have my comp. Okay.
No, it was funny. When he did the thing where he came out when they were first giving up that lead, and he comes in and hits that bucket, and he like turns around and goes, "Let's go!"
Yeah,
like, that's Joey. That's Joey. They'd be like, "Come on, man!"
But that was funny. Like, what are you doing, Christian?
Yeah,
like,
Christian. But at least somebody was trying to do something. Like, "Hey guys, let's go, man!" That was the thing, because I think you were kind of talking about it before I hopped on here, but like when stuff's going wrong and you see like the background stuff from Ant, like the mic'd up segments and stuff, you hear him talking, and he's figuring it out with his team.
He's leading.
I don't think Jokic is doing that. And then Murray, I don't know what he does but when those guys when it gets tight.
It's a different dynamic though. I feel like Malone, they rely more on their head coach.
Yeah.
To be that guy.
But you need somebody on the floor going, "Hey, dude, let's go."
Yeah. KCP in this series, starting from game 1, 6 points, 4, 12, 3, 16, 9, 5.
Michael Porter Jr. too.
I'll do Michael Porter Jr. next.
Missing posters.
Michael Porter Jr. 20, 9, 21, and then 4, 6, 8, 7.
Yep.
Tough last 4 games for Michael Porter Jr.
You can have him.
You can have him.
Disappeared.
Hey, I know what Jamal Murray does.
Maybe did he bet his unders? Do we know if he? Is it too low? I don't know.
It's not too low.
He had his unders.
His unders, helping for his brother.
Did you bet his under this year? Yeah, that was. Did he have Minnesota in 7? Anybody check that? Was there a huge Minnesota in 7 play? But yeah, I think Minnesota's certainly in the driver's seat as far as. They've got to be looked at as, if not the favorite,
Yeah. All right. Do we want to talk about, since you're here, we got to talk about everything. Let's talk about Thunder's Mavericks real quick. Anybody watch?
I was out of town, so I missed it.
Okay. Joey, thoughts?
It was the proof coming for the Thunder are too young, right? They had like an 8-10 point lead. Probably midway through the fourth quarter, and it looked like they had everything under control. Like they had kind of just weathered every storm, and then it just slowly faded. The foul on PJ Washington, who had 0 points through that point of the game, was, as Chris described, coming down. Yeah, interesting, but
like repositioned himself apparently.
Yeah, it was a great season from OKC. It felt like the culmination of them just not being ready to win yet. Shea was really good, as you expected. Efficiencies were still pretty bad. It was just kind of, they couldn't get the right mix from everybody else, right? Chet was okay. He wasn't great. He was just kind of okay. J-Dubs, okay, right? Everything was kind of just okay. I think they waited too long to take Giddey out of the starting lineup. The first time they did, game 5 with Isaiah Joe, didn't work out great. It was better in game 6. He played better, but they just got to find the right lineup. They need another scorer. They need another consistent, good, strong scorer. But yeah, Dallas, Kyrie looked good. Dallas should have probably done better in this series, I think, in the grand scheme of things, after kind of seeing how it ended. Like, they seemed like they should have been able to kind of find a way to do this thing in multiple games. That's what kind of makes me question Dallas just a little bit. It seems like their highs can be pretty high, but the lows can be pretty low. Like they have to have everything cooking to be really good. And sometimes they just kind of, let the game go out to pasture for a little bit. So we'll see how they do against Minnesota. But OKC had a great season. It just really felt like they ran into the thing that everybody talked about for them as being their biggest flaw.
I picked Dallas before this happened to win this series. But I like your point with when Dallas had it, they had it. When they didn't, they didn't. And I think that's like a notion for a team that has only been together for like 40 games, right? When Gafford, PJ, Washington, Derrick Jones Jr. was off-season signing at minimum, but when you bring Gafford and Washington Jr. over at the deadline like that and to incorporate them in this offense, you're going to have some hiccups still, right? And to get through it like this, the old boards, dude. I can't believe you didn't say O boards in your whole thing, Joey, during this one. The O boards is what changed this game. Derek Lively, 14-7 overall, Mavericks in the second half. I mean, Thunder were up by like 17 in this game. And the Mavericks just kept chipping away. You got faders by Luka. Luka looked hurt. I know he's been hurt, but he looked slow, and he always looks kind of slow.
He always kind of looks hurt, though. Some of those fadeaways, he always like, are you okay? And then just, he's fine.
He's fine, but I don't know. And Derrick Jones Jr., 22 points? What? A classic ex-Bull just killing it for another team, going to the conference finals.
There's two Bulls on this team.
Well, with Gafford didn't play well. He's fine, but Lively is one of this bunch who 12 points, 15 rebounds, 4 O boards off the bench.
Off the bench, right? Yeah.
Played 29 minutes. Gafford only played 18 because he got played off the floor by Lively.
There are 3 Bulls in the conference finals.
Who's the third?
Luke Cornett.
Ah, yeah.
Nice.
Classic
Bulls trading away the big men.
I'm just excited. The Thunder Mavericks series was great, and I think the Mavericks are a very good basketball team. I love it. I think the Timberwolves are going to really rock them in 5 games. Titus, do you have a prediction for this series?
I would say Minnesota in 6.
Okay. Do you have any thoughts on the Thunder Mavericks series overall? I don't know if you watched.
No, I didn't. That was one series that was my off night. I was locked in Denver, Minnesota.
Right, catching bass on those nights.
I was catching, and then I missed game 6 because I was catching bass. So,
all right. Well, should we go into the East? Pacers, Knicks. Anyone? Titus, you watched?
Again,
you were golfing.
I was on the water during that game.
During this game.
Thank God the Pacers won game 6. Otherwise, I would have missed game 7 for Denver.
So I'll start with this one off. Pacers, Knicks. I got pros coming in town this week, and I put $100 on the Timberwolves to win, and nice. I got $168 from that. I wanted to parlay it with the Pacers to win, but I'm like, I don't want to do that. Like in case it doesn't happen.
Scared.
I would have won $550 if I had done that.
That would have been a big weekend for your boy.
Fantastic. Pacers, dude, they were just pacing. They shot 73% in the first half. For the game, they shot 67. Absurd. I'd be so pissed if I was a New York fan right now. And I'm kind of glad they are because those guys are all assholes. Fuck New York. And like this, I'm glad the Pacers were pacing in this game, in this series. CJ McConnell getting a couple of steals off the bench, 96 feet in the backcourt, 93 feet, I think they were calling in the backcourt. Played 23 minutes, had a plus 21 in this game. Just fantastic work by this team. Joey, any thoughts on Pacers Knicks?
Yeah, I think when we did the pod last Wednesday, we all picked the Knicks to close it out in 6.
But before we knew about the abdominal strain by Hart,
no, it just the more I thought about it, it was kind of like, you know what, like with the injuries that stacked up, New York had their chance, right? They were up 2-0. They should have been able to close the door on this one. And once they let Indiana back in with their 2 games in Indiana, it should have felt more like it was trending towards Indiana than we kind of thought. I think NBA wise, Boston, New York would have been, a ratings, gold mine just because of the fan bases being close they are and the history between those. But I think that would have been an easy 4-game sweep with the injuries the way they are. I feel like Boston would have absolutely trounced them. I think they're gonna run through Indiana no problem as well. But at least you're gonna see Indiana at full strength, right? You're seeing the team that they actually have played with all season.
Minus Mathurin, but besides,
plus Siakam at the trade deadline, but they're full healthy. I mean, I think they have a better chance of getting a game out of this than New York would have at the state that they're in. But Boston should win this game or win the series without a doubt, hands down. Just the Pacers don't have the defensive intensity to match up on a consistent basis with, as I called them, the JJ twins. I just need to throw out some shots because fuck Boston and Titus. I didn't know he was going to be joining us today, so I was getting my shot in.
We were gonna,
I see that when I wasn't there to talk about.
Yeah, well, hey, I mean, we set up the plan, and I didn't think I was going to get my shots in on the Eastern
Boston in 5.
So I had to throw.
Fine.
No, Boston in 5. Boston in 5 is the right call.
They're going to lose game 2.
I think it's going to be 6. They're going to lose game 2.
I think they're going to lose. Yeah, you might be right. I think it's probably 6. I'm going to call it. No, I'm going to say 5. I'm going to say 5. But like if it goes 6, I would not be surprised at all.
Yeah, I was just saying that because Boston just. Any thoughts? Do we even want to? I don't want to talk about Boston Cleveland because it's such a. There's nothing to.
Boston Cleveland. There's nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, but Boston Indiana, I'm excited because this will be the best team Boston has faced this entire series, which is sad.
Good Lord.
But Indiana's been the best offense. I haven't seen offensive rating. I'm pretty sure they've been the best offense in this playoffs. If not, they're like top 2.
Yeah.
Halliburton looks great. Every shot he takes looks like it should not go in. Then he goes 6 for 12 from 3.
It's kind of ridiculous that Indiana was the one that got through here. Like of all the seasons and the way that the brackets fell for some of these other teams in the Eastern Conference, and Indiana managed to.
Well, is this kind of like Atlanta 2 or 3 years ago?
Right? Probably. Just the cards fell right for them. Was that the year that who did Milwaukee lose? Was that when they lost to the Heat and they got swept?
Yeah, no, that was Atlanta.
I just know Atlanta beat Philly. I don't remember what happened before that.
No, Atlanta, New York, Atlanta, Philly, and then they lost to. Was it? Yeah, it was Boston.
Miami?
Or no, I think it was. Then they lost to the Bucks.
Yeah,
that's the Bucks one. It was 2 years ago.
That was when the Bucks won.
Yeah.
This feels a lot like that. Indy just getting there, and you can look at like a team like Cleveland. Like, hey, if you wouldn't have tanked and it would have been on that side of the bracket, you could have made a conference finals, and then getting beaten 5 by Boston. But you would at least been in the conference finals.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm excited, guys. My face has been red for like the last 2 hours.
Just believe it, man.
Screaming at the TV. I am lucky to have 3 girls that are semi-deep sleepers and to have a house that like is situated where the TV I'm watching is away from their bedrooms upstairs. So I am thankful for that. Count my blessings. Closing
statements, arguments.
Timberwolves in 5. I honestly think Timberwolves in 5. Boston in 6. That's where I'm at.
I got him flipped. I got Timberwolves in 6, Boston in 5.
I'm with the Titus. Timberwolves 6, Boston in 5.
Okay. I'm excited, guys. I'm going to game 2.
Hey, tickets already?
I will. Well, the answer, whether it's tomorrow or Tuesday, I'll look it up. If it's Boston, Minnesota, Titus, are you coming to it? You and Michelle got to come to a game. Boston's in the finals.
I mean, I could probably talk to her about it.
Yeah, talk to her about it. We got a place you can stay. Are you the hotel that's nearby? Like, whatever you want to do.
Go.
But we got to go to a game.
We could go to game 6, the closeout game for Boston. It'd be nice.
Closeout game it'd be great.
Will that be in Minnesota? I don't know.
It would be in Minnesota. No,
that would be in Minnesota, right? Yeah, because then game 7 would be in Boston. Yeah,
that would be insufferable. Could you imagine having 2 Chicago people who are Boston fans in your home, and then they win game 6 to close it out, and you have
not going to happen.
You have to go back home with them.
I'll take the risk on it. It's fine.
No. See, I like that. He's not scared. He's the ant right there. That's fine. You guys come to my house, see if you win.
Yeah.
See you motherfuckers at game 7.
Yeah.
Just Carl-Anthony Towns. I just wanted to keep seeing him flex. Just everyone hates his flexing. I love it.
Yeah. Well, hold on. I do want to ask this. What is it about flexing that when it's a guy you like, you don't care, but when it's a guy you hate, because I hate when he flexes. When Cat flexes, I'm like, look at this fucking moron.
I wish I could show you my text messages to Richie today because I said I was literally like, I can't stand Jamal, and it's making me hate the Nuggets as a whole. And I was like, the dude's flexing after every shot, and he's such a fake ass tough guy, and I can't stand it right now.
Yeah.
And that's just funny that you bring up what is it flexing? Like, yeah,
because you texted us too.
When a dude you like flexes, you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, man, flex on it. And then,
like, why doesn't Cat's flexing bother you? Because Cat looks just as fake as Jamal.
But he's strong. Hey, he bodied Jokic in the paint. He proved his strength.
No, you're not wrong. I have no defense to any of it. It's just you're exactly right.
Exactly right. Because I'm the same way. Like when Jamal does it, I'm like, I don't love it, but I'm like, it's fine. It's Jamal, man, Jamal Murray. But then when I see Cat, I'm like, look at this clown. Sit down, dude. Ant can do it. He's fine. I will accept the Ant doing it.
Yeah, it's like when you reach a certain level, it's like you have to stop flexing, right?
Yeah.
It's like Ant hasn't accomplished anything yet. So it's like, okay, you can flex because you're still like, trying to make a name for yourself. Like once you reach a level of like, hey, 4 defensive players of the year, hey, triple double in the finals, like, close out game of the finals, like you win a title, like, yeah, okay, maybe you need to stop flexing because you've
I mean, come on, that was Jokic, man. Jokic doesn't flex.
Jokic
doesn't do anything.
I don't know, man. I think the shine, I was telling Chris before you jumped on this, I think the shine on Jokic is about to wear off next season. I think
is he happy? I think he's kind of like excited to go home, right?
No,
I know he's mad.
So I was gonna. Did you see the pictures of him standing the whole fourth quarter?
I wanted to talk about this. I'm glad we're bringing this up.
He's not. I think people think that he, I get like he seems like a guy that he goes to work and he doesn't, he doesn't care. At the end of the day, it doesn't define him. Like basketball doesn't define who he is as a person. But does that mean that he wants to lose or that he doesn't want to play good? No. And that's different. Right. And that's why I like Jokic, because to me, that's actually how I like it. I like it when the guy's like, yeah, you know what, man? They got us today. It's fine. Because even when they lost by, like, what was it? They lost by like 50 or whatever, 45 in game 6.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. And you can just tell he's just like, all right, we'll come back. We'll make the adjustments and see what we can do. That's it.
I think Jokic hides it more, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't care about the reporters. He's not trying to prove it to anyone. It's internal.
Yeah.
So, like, to your point, yeah.
I think if he didn't win the MVP this year, it'd be different. I feel like the fatigue was already kind of setting in because, like, this MVP, like, it was legit, but like it seemed like there was a little bit more like turmoil around it, right? There was a bit more rumbling, perhaps around this one. I don't know. I just got this feeling that like now with them losing here, like I don't know. I just feel like the shine is going to start to work. Like the Nuggets are going to kind of become this villainous team. I feel like even though they didn't win back to back, I just got this like feeling that the villain mindset is setting in, and Jokic is going to become kind of like the poster child for like the villainous Nuggets.
I don't see that, but
whether it's right or wrong,
I just don't see it. I mean, he's not like he doesn't have a villain attitude. He's like I don't think he's gonna like what's he gonna do to make him a villain other than just being.
You play long enough to see yourself become the villain. Right.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying he's gonna become like a bad guy. Like he's gonna do things that are gonna make
the media's just gonna frame him in a way that makes him look.
But like that's what I'm saying. Like so you can see like with Luka, right? Like he's the call complaining or whatever. Or like let's even flash forward like Ant, with some of the trash talking he does. Like at some point that's not gonna be cute. Like it's cute now, and when they win a title or two, it's not gonna be that big of a deal. But then like all right when the cap hits and now the team's not that good. And now people are like, hey, Ant, why are you still talking? That's what does Jokic do that's going to make him be?
No. What I'm saying, it's the thing that me and you probably disagree most with in basketball is that like when a guy becomes so dominant that like they become the guy you have to get through.
Oh, okay. Like a LeBron type thing.
Yeah. Like they become just this like statue, right? That you have to like physically get past to accomplish anything. And like he was taken down tonight, obviously, but I feel like he's going to be right back again next year, right? Doing the same kind of thing again. He hit these triple doubles like it's no big deal, and just going to kind of be out there being his non-athletic, ridiculously awesome self. And you're at the end of the day, no one's ever going to be like, hey, Jokic was a bad player. People are going to be like, man, fucking Jokic, like he kept me from doing a lot of things that a lot of teams probably thought they could have, but they got stuck in the Western Conference or stuck in the bracket with Jokic, and he, kept them out of things. So yeah,
or they got stuck in the bracket with Towns and Gobert. Can I just end this on the note of I'm happy that I've been vindicated. I know I said this at the beginning, but after Game 5, I acted like Jesse from Breaking Bad, right? They can't keep getting away with this, and it ended like Breaking Bad, right? Jesse won in the end, and he's in Alaska. I know the movie was okay, El Camino, but I'm Gobert and Towns are vindicated, and I'm just happy to see that finally, because there's so much negative discourse online about those two big men, and it's unwarranted for how good they are as basketball players. Shout out to the big men. Just redemption tour for the big men.
For the big men.
What a turnaround, right? Worst trade in NBA history. Gobert punched Kyle Anderson in the face
last year. Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are, man. I'm excited for it.
Us.
My last thought is Jamal Murray can go hang out with his heat packs now for all season. He can go
cool off as much as he wants.
He can go heat up those muscles.
Next pod is scheduled for next Wednesday, which will be after Game 5 of the Mavericks Timberwolves series. We'll talk. We might want to pod. We'll see.
We'll see. We'll talk about it. Yeah.
We'll see how the series goes. Yeah, it's a play-by-play.
Yeah, if we do it Wednesday, it'll be a game and a half to talk about. So, but if we wait till next Wednesday,
about maybe like next Sunday or next Monday, we'll talk. Anyways,
we'll talk after that. All right. Well, that is it for us tonight. Congratulations to the Timberwolves, Chris's Timberwolves.
Thank you.
Making the conference finals.
Thank you.
Good luck to you guys, buddy. And that is it for us tonight. So, rate, subscribe, YouTube, Spotify, all the good stuff. We appreciate that. Until next time, a box out.